All right, guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy you made it back because we're going to go over pistachio protein bread. And you will have to use this if you're like, oh, I don't use that. Ooh, there's too many things in there that I don't know. Fine, don't use it. Just don't use it. That's it. All right. And then you won't have pistachio bread. I'm just kidding. I also use this right here. So this pistachio like flavoring, if you don't want to use this, you could use this. But if you really love pistachio, the way I love pistachio, then you're gonna want to use both of these, and then you have pistachio bread on steroids, and that's what you want. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much it. These are the two things that make it pistachio, and then I'm actually gonna put real pieces of pistachio in it, and it looks green because of this. This won't make it green. So again, there's that as well. All right. So I'm gonna simplify it. I'm gonna start with wet ingredients first, and then we'll go over the dry ingredients. But we're gonna start with the wet. The reason why I start with the wet is because I need the apple cider vinegar that I put in it to kind of make my Greek yogurt into more of a kind of like a thick buttermilk type thing. And that's what the apple cider vinegar does. There's also a lot of health benefits to it. I mentioned this in my other videos, but if this is your first time watching any of my videos, this is gold, okay? All right, there's for whatever's left. There's enough for 2 teaspoons in here. All right, so what ingredients? So if you watch my other YouTube videos, you'll know that the base is the same. So it's gonna have 400 grams of Greek yogurt. I use a non-fat Greek yogurt. It's gonna have 12 ounces of liquid egg whites. I use this because Costco has good deals on the big old box of egg whites, and I live off these guys, so I try to get the best deal. All right, and then I use liquid stevia, and I'm gonna use this, the pistachio flavoring. And then this is technically a dry ingredient, so I'm gonna add it in the end with the other dry ingredients. All right, guys, let's get started. All right, guys, 400 grams. This isn't rocket science here. Just make sure that your scale is at 0 before you start pouring it in. All right. So you just keep throwing it in here until you get to, whoa, 422. No, it's going to take some out. All right, now we're at what? Exactly 401. Perfection. All right, once you're done with that, you're going to put this on 0 again, change the unit to ounces, and we're going to go ahead and shake this well because that's what it says on here, following directions. 12 ounces. Okay, maybe I'm going to end up using this whole carton. This is why I need boxes and boxes of egg whites, because I do so many little breads like this, because this is what keeps me away from eating like junk food, because this is like sweetened with stevia, 0 calories, and tasty, and it's really good with coffee every morning for breakfast. And it's kind of like, if I have that, I'm good. You know, I don't need to have my 12 chocolate chip cookies and feel like a complete animal afterwards. This happened to me plenty of times. You know, chocolate chip cookies are my weakness. If you don't know me, that I used to do 2 times a month. I would have, I think, like 6, 8 cookies, chocolate chip chunk, and I just couldn't stop eating them. Like, they were just so, and I was like, I just feel like an empty, bottomless cookie pit. You know, I felt like Cookie Monster, and I just wanted to be like, oh, just can't stop. They're the best thing in the world. But it's only with cookies, though. It's the weirdest thing. I really don't care about. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys. Did I tell you guys 1 tablespoon of? Yeah, 1 tablespoon of stevia, guys. Sorry, I get off on my rants and I forget. All right, so 1 tablespoon of stevia, and then liquid stevia, whatever it is, just make sure it's liquid. Yeah, I mean, you could use your other stuff as well, but I couldn't give you the measurements for powdered monk fruit. You'd have to kind of guess that one on your own, and then don't curse me in your head when it comes out nasty. Okay, all right, just let me know. All right, now this right here, pistachio. Again, we love pistachio, so we're gonna go ahead and go for the full tablespoon, and we're just gonna rock that out there. And you know what? I'm gonna assume that 2 teaspoons is somewhere around one tablespoon, but I usually do 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. But yeah, look at that, perfection. All right, guys, there's all my wet ingredients. I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up really well, and then we're gonna put this aside, and then we're gonna go over the dry ingredients. I'm sorry, the dry ingredients are next. But once you're done with this part here, life only gets easier from here. All right, party people. So welcome back for the dry ingredients part 2. Just regular organic plain all-purpose flour. You can use whichever one. You could even use wheat, but I don't know what the end result would be like, so you take the risk there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put 120 grams. Don't ask why. I'll explain why later. But 120 grams exactly. Okay. So I just keep scooping it up in there until I get to 120. Whoa. Okay. I thought that was 173, but it's not. Okay. Yep, 121. That works. All right. So there's that. And now we're gonna go ahead and use 2 teaspoons of baking soda. This key here. 2 teaspoons. Oh no, actually I used 3 teaspoons of baking powder. So just make sure you're counting, because there's times where I've gone to La La Land in my brain, and then I'll be like, oh man, was that 2 or 3? And then I don't even know. Just count. All right, so that was 3 exactly. All right, once you're done with those, you're gonna go ahead and put the coconut flour, and then I believe that's it. We'll go ahead and add some of the pistachio. This nice, cool. We'll add this one at the end though, because there's like pistachio bits in it, and I put everything through the sifter, and I don't want my pistachio bits to get just not sifted through. All right, so I want to finish my rant on my chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, I've always had this chocolate chip cookie addiction, but I also like macadamia nut cookies too. But you want to know something? The month of January 2025, it's this month right now, but I decided to do a no cookie, zero cookie month, the zero cheat meal. So I'm doing pretty good so far. You know, there's only a couple, 5 days left of January. And I'm going to finish strong. And I'm thinking, should I just keep going for the rest of the year with no cookies? Like, why would I do that to myself? But I'm thinking about doing this for my birthday, just having cookies. But if I wait that long, if I have the cookies on my birthday, I'm going to end up so sick, because when you don't eat any junk for such a long time and then you do, it's like you end up really sick afterwards. And then it becomes, is it really worth it? Definitely not. All right, guys, next, oh, I didn't even tell you guys. I used 56 grams of the coconut flour. I apologize. So 56 grams. Again, I'm going to go over everything. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. 3 teaspoons of baking soda. And this, I'll probably just go ahead and use 20 grams of this, okay, of the Jello. And these, I'll put these in the end. I'll just sprinkle them on the top, okay? So this is also really good. All right, guys, listen up. So once we have the dry ingredients, we're just gonna let it chill there. We're gonna pull over our wet ingredients. And I'm gonna sift this into here. So stand by. These are not yet. All right, did you guys see that? More like judging with judging eyes. Like, you know what's in that? You know what that does to your stomach? Ugh. I could only imagine. Look, if you're that person, just go to a different channel. I'm not kidding. I just can't, I just can't. Okay, so you're gonna be fine. If you put this in there, you're fine. But if you don't want to, you could use LaCroix, okay? All right, guys, listen up. So, if you guys want to comment on the 7-Up, go for it. I'll just give you a heart. Just pure love, okay? All right, guys, listen up. So I'm going to go ahead and get my little sifter here. I'm going to go ahead and put all the dry ingredients, sift them in here. All right. The reason why I sift, because look at those big old balls right there. You see that? Sometimes that's like baking soda, so I just kind of go ahead and press them through. That way there's no like blobs in there. All right, so once I do that, now comes this. Either way, if you're not going to use 7-Up, that's fine. You could use LaCroix, you could use Pellegrino, you could use whichever one you want, whichever one you did research on and found that is the best for you, okay? I have zero shame. I know this is not going to... Oh, it sounds like something's burning over here. I hope my parchment paper isn't burning. Anyways, so this isn't going to kill you, I promise. But if you're really scared, that's fine. But I'm going to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and use 7 ounces. So I'm going to put the units at 0. 0 units. Right now it's on grams, so I'm going to switch it to ounces. Just keep going till you get to, yeah, let's just do 7. And then we could just enjoy the rest. So good. I use a caffeine-free one because I'm really sensitive to caffeine and I don't like caffeine at all. Also, all my coffee is always decaf. Everything I drink is always decaf. I don't like anything making my heart beat really fast. If I'm not exerting my body and causing my heart rate to go up myself, I'm not wanting to drink something and be sitting there with my heart. No thanks. All right. So now we'll go back to grams, because we're going to go ahead and just put 20 ounces of this. 20 grams, not ounces, sorry. All right. So, hey, you want to know something funny? Is that usually people that are so concerned, like, oh, do you know what is in that? Like, you know, there's citric acid and citrate and aspartame and wow, do you know what's, like, okay. They're like, okay, the same people will, like, go do Molly on the weekend, you know, like, and take lines of cocaine, and they're, like, so concerned about the 7-Up. Okay, whatever. I don't want to argue, okay? But anyways, I just think that is funny. I'm not saying everybody does, but it's just funny to me. So, and then they'll go and have, like, their pizza, and there was, you know, all other shit, and then they're, like, worried about that one ingredient in there. Okay. I'm just stop talking. Okay, so once you have everything in there, now we're gonna mix it up really well. And you just keep mixing until it looks pretty. I'll show you guys how cool it looks. It looks nice and green in a second. All right, guys, check out this consistency. This is your pistachio bread. Look at this. Wow, it looks good, right? It looks nice. It looks pretty. Yeah. And it's gonna taste so amazing, okay? All right, guys, next we're gonna go over this. Then this next part, I do it because I track my macros, so I'm making exactly 4 servings. Remember I said I'll tell you guys in the end why I use 120 grams of flour, because I have 30 grams of flour for each serving, so I divide this by 4. And then I put it into separate containers, and then I have my Monday, I have my Tuesday breakfast, and... All right, so I use these, and I just top them with parchment paper, and then I divide this entire batter. So I add it up, I subtract the bowl, and I subtract the batter. So it's probably gonna be about 320 maybe grams of batter in each container, which will, when I divide my 120 divided by 4, then I'll have 30 grams of flour in each one. So there's like reasons for everything. It's only because I track everything. Again, if you don't track and you don't care, you're just like, whatever, I could just put it in a big pan, bake it, and then I could just cut that into however many pieces, whenever I want. You could do that as well. It's just up to you, but I couldn't give you the exact time, because if your bowl is really small, you can have a thick bread, and you're probably gonna burn the top little surface layer because you have to bake it for long. Or if you have it too big of a pan, you're gonna have a really thin pistachio bread, and you're probably gonna bake it for like 15, 18 minutes tops. So depending on the baking pan that you have, that's gonna dictate your time. And I'm going to give you guys a time based on my 4 little containers here. So take that into consideration, okay? All right. All right, guys, so check it out. This is what it looks like. It turns out to be, each one has about like 300 grams each right now. And this is the last of it. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in here. This is the last. I make sure I get every little crumb because, again, this is my macros here, and I don't want to leave a drop of flour. I don't want to leave any protein. Protein's my favorite macronutrient. All right, so you see that's all it is here. You just pour them all into each individual little bowl. And I'm gonna top 2 of them with white chocolate and raw pistachios, and then I'm gonna top 2 of them with nothing. Okay, so I pulled them out of the oven and I took them out of the trays. The first thing I do is I put them on these little racks here, because if I just let them cool on here, it'll just, you see all that condensation that happens with the water, and so then it makes a whole different, it gives the bread a whole different feel, because the whole bottom will be all soggy. You don't want that. So I put them on the rack, I let them cool. This is what they look like. Again, they're still really hot right now, but ideally, I'm not gonna even do a taste test, so I'm not gonna like eat them in front of you guys and tell you how amazing it is, because all of these breads taste better when you let them sit in the fridge for an entire day, like a couple hours at least, 10 minimum, and then you have it the next day with like coffee or whatever. Yeah, they're not the greatest when they're just like right out of the oven and you start eating it. Don't do that. Let the flavor settle, let everything chill, and then you can enjoy it. So I'm not gonna do like a taste test and be like, it's so amazing. You guys are gonna just be so jealous right now. I'm just kidding. But you guys could also check it out on my Instagram, because I will post it on my story that I'm eating it, and you guys can check out the texture on there. But yeah, I hope you guys love it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Share it with your friends and family. These are very healthy. Coconut flour, regular flour. I normally put flax meal in there too, but I didn't want to put flax meal because I haven't tried it with the pistachio yet. But yeah, it's actually really good with flax meal, but I didn't put it on this one. Anywho, enjoy, guys. Love you guys. Thank you. If you have any questions, any comments, feel free to leave them below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. Love you guys. Peace out.